All right, planning for the future. It's something we all know we should do, but sometimes don't know how to even get started on the big stuff like your estate. So to help us out, answer some questions, we have Sarah Morris, who is the CEO of Morris Law Center. Good name, by the way. Good name to come up since you're the CEO, right?
Yeah, thank you.
She joins us now, Sarah. Yeah, this is kind of something that I don't know much about. Estate planning. First of all, what is it?
Okay, so estate planning is basically trying to prepare for the future, protect your assets along the way, and then make sure when you do ultimately pass away, which everybody does, and people don't like to think about it, everything's in place. So it's an easy, smooth transition for the people you leave behind. In fact, that's the #1 reason people do have an estate plan, is to help their family when they're gone, because it makes it much easier for their family. They're already grieving the loss of them, so now at least they have something in place. They know what they're supposed to do. They know where the assets go, what the person's wishes were, and they can carry them out.
Absolutely, and you brought up a key point. You're grieving. You don't want to be bothered if possible, and if you do it ahead of time, you won't. It will be done for you for the most part. What happens if you don't? What are the complications? I know.
So if you do not have an estate plan, unfortunately, your family will likely have to go to court in order to get your assets. So that's called probate court. It's the court process of transferring the decedents, the person that passes away, their assets to the rightful heirs. So one of the reasons people have an estate plan is so that their family can avoid going to court, because it can be, depending on the value of the estate, it can take a long time, it can cost a lot of money, and you're already in this emotional space that you do not want to be dealing with a court at that point.
Is there a difference between estate planning and a will?
Well, a will is the type of estate plan.
Got it.
So it's the most basic type. If you have nothing else, please at least have a will, because a will tells everybody who gets your stuff, essentially. So you can put in there, you say who gets your stuff and who's going to manage your estate when you're gone. So that's the most basic level. You at least need a will so that they don't have to, the court doesn't, what would happen if you don't have a will is they're going to look at the statutes, the law, to see who gets what. It's just whatever the law says. So at least with a will, you can dictate who gets your stuff. Okay.
I can only imagine some of the horror stories if you're not prepared, and you probably hear about it all the time, and you're like, unfortunately, it's too late.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Probate doesn't sound very fun either.
It cannot. It can be not so fun.
Families are at odds with each other.
Well, right, and then there's a lot of inter-family fighting. You know, people, I know you've probably heard of this, but when people pass away, sometimes it gets ugly, and it's all about the money, unfortunately. And so at least if you've got a plan in place, there's less likelihood of fighting because you've already said what's going to happen. It's sort of like Succession, but he's still alive. All
right, and you can, there's your information on the screen, Morris Law Center. The attorneys over there will help you with your estate plan, and it looks like if you call, you'll receive $250 off of your estate plan. First 20 callers. Thank you, Sarah, we appreciate it.